In this short video, I'm going to be using the units from the last video, joules, calories, and kcals, or kilocalories, to show you how to convert between the units, which is going to be really important. I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and then I will ask that you do some examples on your own and bring them to class with you so I can see your work. Starting with the first example. I'm asking to convert between 150 calories with a little c to joules. So the first thing I want to do is identify what I know and what I don't know. So I'm going to identify what I know in yellow, and I'm going to put the letter K over it because that's what I know. And then what don't I know? I don't know how many joules are in 150 calories. So I'm going to label that blue and then write the letter U. That's my unknown. So I have a known and an unknown. That gives me a place to start. Right now we're only converting between two units, but in the future it'll get more complicated, and so it's important that we designate a path now. That way you have that foundation later when it gets more difficult. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a little T-chart. And a T-chart is just a horizontal line and a vertical line, like that. So it's in the letter of a T. The first thing after the T is to take your known and put it in the top left-hand corner, the number and the units of the T. Nothing will go down below. That'll become more important later. So you start with your known up top. And the purpose of a T-chart is not to deal with numbers, it's to deal with units. This whole process using T-charts is called dimensional analysis. So if I want to deal with the units, what I need to do is I need to cancel out calories and get into joules. Well, I have a direct conversion up here. So I actually have two conversions. I have that 1 joule equals 0.239 calories, or I have 1 calorie equals 4.184 joules. My preference is this conversion right here, the 1 cal equals 4.184 joules, and I just have an affinity for it. So I'm going to use that one. So what I want to do is I want to put the word cal down in the denominator of the next T section. And the reason why is because if you have a unit in the numerator and one in the denominator, the same unit, they actually cancel out. Well, I know that I can use this conversion, 1 cal equals 4.184 joules. So what you do is you put the opposite unit on the opposite side of the T, like this. And then you fill it in with numbers. So I'm going to put the number 1 next to calorie, and I'm going to put the number 4.184 next to the letter J. Like that. So, get a different pencil. So what this is doing, again, is canceling out units so that I end up in the unit of my unknown, which is joules. Once you reach the unit of your unknown, you're done. So this is what I would call a two-step T-chart. So once you reach your units, put an equal sign because you're done. And then in order to deal with it mathematically, what you do is you multiply the numerators, then divide by any denominators. That's the key right here. Okay. There is nothing in the denominator, and you notice how this bottom T is empty. That's a good thing. We want that empty. And the only other denominator here is the number 1, so there's nothing really to divide by. And so I'm just going to multiply my numerators. So to multiply the numerators, you take 150 times 4.184, and that gets you 627.6. Let's just all agree to round one place past the decimal on this. So 627.6, and the units of my unknown carry over into my answer. The number without the unit doesn't matter. The unit has to be in the answer. So that's how you convert. So let's do this next one. So again, I'm going to highlight my knowns and my unknowns. So whatever has the number is what you know, and whatever doesn't have the number is what you are looking for. So I'm going to call this my known, and this is my unknown. So you start with setting up your T-chart, and you put your known on the first T on the upper left-hand side, so 3,473 joules. And then you find the conversion that you need to get to where you need to go. So I need to go to kcal. But the only thing on this chart that's equal to kcal is calories, little calories. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first convert from joules to calories and then convert from calories to joules. So I'll use this first equation in that 1 joule equals 0.239 calories. I could use this one, but I'm going to use this one just to mix it up. So I know that I need joules in the denominator so that those two units cancel out. And I know that 1 joule is equal to 0.239 calories. So you put the other unit on top with its value. I haven't reached kcal yet, so I'm actually going to have to set up another T. So extend it out. And then I know that 1,000 calories equals 1 kcal, or kilocalorie. So again, I have to pull the unit down so that those cancel out, and I know that I need to go into kcal, so I'll put that up top. And I know that 1,000 calories equals 1 kcal. Once you reach the units of your unknown, you stop, equal sign, multiply everything on the top, divide by everything on the bottom. So here I do have a denominator. So let's start by multiplying everything on top. So 3,473, multiply that by 0.239. Those are all my numerators. Press equals, and then divide by the 1,000 that's in the denominator. So 0.83. So this equals 0.83 kcals. And that would be our answer. So let's put a box around it. Last problem. Again, I'm going to highlight what I know and what I don't know. I know I have 54,300 kilojoules, and I want to figure out how many calories that is. So this is what I know. This is what I don't know. So you start by setting up your T-chart. Put your known on the top left T, 54,300, and it's kilojoules. Again, you notice that the bottom of this first T is empty. That's on purpose. And I know that I need kilojoules in the denominator so that those units cancel out. So let's come up top and find a conversion. The only thing that says anything about kilojoules is this conversion right here. So I know that 1 kilojoule equals 1,000 joules. So let's use that one because there are no other options for kilojoules. So I know I can go from kilojoules to joules, and I know that 1 kilojoule equals 1,000 joules because that's what it says up here. And then I'm obviously not where I need to be. I need to go into calories, and so I'm going to find a joules to calories conversion, which there are two options. So let's use this one. Let's say that 1 calorie equals 4.184 joules. I can use the other one, sure, but I'm going to use this one over here. So I know I need joules in the denominator so that those cancel out, and I know I need to go to calories. And so I'm going to say that 1 calorie equals 4.184 joules. You put the numbers with the proper units. Now I'm in the unit of my unknown, so I stop, equal sign. And then I have numbers in the numerators and the denominators, so I'm going to multiply and then divide. So I'm going to take 54,300, multiply by 1,000. That's a big number. And then I need to divide by 4.184 because that's the number in my denominator. That is a really big number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use scientific notation. So we'll just write that number out actually, and then we'll put it into scientific notation. And the units are calories. So that would be our answer. Let's put some, there we go. So to put it in scientific notation, I would actually put 1.29 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calories. That way the number is more compact, like that. If you're unfamiliar with scientific notation, I will link another video. You can quickly watch that and figure out how I created this number. So I'm going to ask you to complete the following 3 problems on your own and bring those to class. If you do not have a calculator at home, use your cell phone.